So if we have any questions from the audience, Kris will take questions for about 5-10 minutes.
If I can't, there's some things I just won't be able to tell you because of my non-disclosure. I apologize. But I'm also going to stay, I'll be here offline too, because I'm going to stay and sign all the books that I need to sign. I'm not going anywhere, but please.
So if you have a question, raise your hand and I'll bring the mic.
And don't be shy. I can't tell you all to say. I can't tell you. That pretty much answers the question anyway. I can't tell you.
The excuse that the government gave, that there was not time to help you guys, completely false, because it could have gone on for days.
And that was the issue, and I had that question to Mr. Panetta. I was very lucky after Leon Panetta was on Bill O'Reilly, I was on Fox and Friends the next day, and that was the question I asked today. You know, you didn't know when it was going to end. And they've since let that go because they know they're wrong. There were personnel, the Fast Company of Marines were in Sigonella. Fast Marines, they were 2 hours away from us. Spectre Gunship, Djibouti, and Sigonella. Aviano Air Base with F-15s and F-16s are about, with afterburners, an hour, 2 hours away. But they also have an attachment at Suda Bay, Greece, which is 30 minutes. And I do know the Fast Company guys are ready to come because I have two buddies on that team. And they've apologized to me in tears, saying, we were ready to go. We were on the tarmac and they told us to go de-jock at midnight and we were needed. So yeah, but I can't tell you why. I still don't know why at all.
Why was Ambassador Stevens in Benghazi?
Officially, he was there to christen the English-speaking school. It was called the American Corner, and it was set up by a Libyan that had saved the American pilot, the one American pilot that was shot down during the Libyan liberation, or Gaddafi liberation, whatever you want to call it, overthrow of Gaddafi. He had opened up an English-speaking school that was christened by the State Department. There's a picture of Hillary Clinton, him shaking hands in Libya, and Ambassador Stevens was going to christen the opening. You know, also the Ambassador Stevens was there doing diplomatic relations, and I can't talk about the rest. But that being said, it's the select committees. What I've seen so far, and I don't trust all politicians, to be honest with you. No offense. No offense. I said not all. I said some. That's 100%. But they're getting to the bottom. Now, if they just want to continue, they'll get to it. They know what they're doing. So they want to do it. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. This is a direct response to what you just said. Do you think that in the Benghazi hearings, we will find out the truth of what was going on?
I think you'll find out some of the truth. There are so many moving parts. The CIA is going to get out of this scot-free. They're not going to come, nothing's going to come to them about it. Their focus is on State Department, which it should be. I mean, it was a State Department mission, and the State Department guys on the ground were doing the right things and requesting the right assets they needed. They were just not given to them. And as far as ops and those sort of things, you know, it's common. It is out in the open source that we were trying to overthrow Assad in Syria, and that we were helping the moderate militia. There's no such thing as a moderate terrorist or a moderate militia. So they're getting more information now. Yes, ma'am. To answer your question, yes, ma'am. If politicians are willing to risk their careers to get the right information, that's the key right there. Somebody's got to risk their career. If they're not willing to do that, I don't know. Yes, ma'am.
Kris, I want to say thank you very much for your service to your country. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
My question to you is about Hillary Clinton.
Yes, ma'am.
If Hillary Clinton is to receive the nod to become the presidential candidate for the Democrats, do you still plan to live in America?
Yeah, wow, that's hard. They teach us not to answer questions or not to acknowledge that that's a hard question when we go through our media training. That's a hard question. Yeah, I'll still live. I live in Nebraska. It's hard for her to reach there. She'll come to Des Moines when it's time for election, but she'll stay out of Nebraska. Yeah, I won't come to the East Coast or Southern California ever. You know, that's for danger. No, first of all, I don't really think it's going to happen. I know stranger things have happened, but I think as long as people keep voicing and being more outspoken and I don't agree with everything that Donald Trump said, but at least he's being outspoken. I think if the competition keeps doing that, she won't be. And then off the word. Yes, sir.
One quick statement, and then I do have something to say to you personally.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make a quick plug for Jim Duncan. He's doing so he's going to help you people. Okay.
He better. I don't know what he looks like now.
My statement to you, sir, is this. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you're ever in the dumps, reach out. America will grab your hand and pull you out of the deepest place.
Miller time? Miller time. Oh, almost.
How's your soul?
What's that? My soul?
How's your soul?
My soul initially was dark, didn't have one, more or less. It was pretty, as far as how I felt, except when I was home, when I drove with my kids and came back. Right now, it's good. People say believe in God or have faith or whatever. I know God's out there. I felt He's been protecting me before. Now it's just not. I have to make that decision whether I want to continue to have faith or not. And I haven't asked for anything, and I've continually been put on the right path. Whatever's happened has happened for a reason, and I'm not even asking more. So my soul's good now. But after Benghazi, no, it wasn't. I didn't even want one. I just didn't want to feel anymore.
Chris, we got one more question.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for your
Thanks,
service and excellent talk tonight.
Thanks,
Incredible. The date 9/11/2012.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any on-the-ground intelligence
Yes, sir.
that something was going to happen? I mean, the date
I know.
9/11/2012 would at least
You would
think cause you to beef up security.
You would think.
around the world.
We were. Now, our annex, we were. Now there's 6 of us, and we don't need somebody telling us it's 9/11. 6 of us, a lot of years overseas. Those guys are the truest patriots in the world, I say. So that's not hard to, we have our weapons next to us, but we do that generally all the time. And we did have, yes, consulate had been hit twice already in a month prior. They've been IED twice. The Virgin Bachelor had been hit. This is something I found out recently, and it's at our chief of base, and he didn't tell us this at the time. I just have found this out in the last 3 months. He had been called by an asset telling him, hey, the consulate's not going to be attacked today, that day of 9/11/2012, our chief of base. And he blew it off, and then he was called again. It got to the point where he actually shut his phone off because he didn't believe the guy. He didn't pass it on to us. As far as DOD and Department of State, and especially the Army, General Ham did the things about General Ham getting relieved and losing, it's true. He did the right thing, and he was relieved of it. Why he doesn't come forward, I don't know. I just know that because of Colonel McKnight from Black, who's a friend of mine, and we talk, the special ops community, we talk to each other. So, I don't know why. And I'll be honest, I think they probably were ready, they just didn't send them. But the biggest snafu was that we had real-time information that morning that there was going to be an attack, and it didn't make it to us. So if it didn't make it to us, then no, it didn't make it up the chain. Morale Petraeus. So there's other things going on there. And some of my non-disclosure stuff, I can't talk about it. But there's still stuff that I'm still scratching my head at. So it's a good question, and it needs to be answered, but it hasn't been yet. It's not officially. Sure. I appreciate it.